You can answer every interview question perfectly and still fail to get the job. And why is that? As you were thinking, as you were coming from head and not from heart, they were assessing you. But at senior level, if you leave the room feeling like you just passed a difficult exam, you're already lost. The real axis we get to be interested in is the one that determines whether you get the VPC. It starts with who you are being in that room. Today we're going to shift your identity from an applicant to a trusted advisor. How the room engages with you dictates what questions you get asked and the outcome. Here is an uncomfortable truth. What is missing right now is not your confidence, is not another credential. It's who you are being in that room. Is how you are leading the conversation. Because are you leading the conversation or are you actually contributing to that conversation? Because if you enter the room as a candidate, your nervous system is already dialed in on the state of survival, state of pleasing. Then who are you being in that room? Are you being you, serving from the heart of authenticity? Or are you saying something to get pleased, to get liked? We adapt to the room, but when you adapt, you already give your power away. And if that mindset is also the mindset that you have when you're waiting in the lobby, then you're already giving power away. The facilitator carries herself differently, carries herself with authority, with calmness, with effortlessness, with lightness, because she knows that she is not in that room to be liked, to get approval or seek approval. She knows she is in that room to assess what are your problems and how can I help you serve. And would I love to work with this bunch of C-suite leaders? Do I like the culture? Is there room for me to grow? That is what the facilitator of change does. So they're not in that room to be tested. They are there to see if the company is ready for the change they really desire. That is emotional regulation in real time. You cannot fake inner state coherence because remember, energy is contagious. So you have to practice her long before sitting in the room. So how do you actually do it? The easy answer is you stop answering questions and you start observing what is going on in the room. You start asking bold questions. For example, when the candidate gets a question, they answer it immediately. The facilitator of change, on the other hand, reflects on the question and say, that's a really good question. What is it that you're looking for? They slow down because they know that slowing down will set them up for more success. And also, they mirror back what they heard. Is this what you're looking for, or are you looking for something else? And I want to share is this what you're looking? But the facilitator of change does it very differently. He has a very different approach because that person knows that reflection and pause is the secret to success. It's the secret to be present. So when you get a question, say, that's a really good question, but what are you looking for? Not long ago, I served a client and she get asked, tell me a failure story. I'm happy to share a failure story. Are you looking for a failure of strategy or a failure of people management? Because I have learned so many different lessons on my journey. So tell me, what story could serve you the most right now? That's very, very powerful. Now you are an advisor. Now I know you might be thinking, Camilla, I cannot do that. I'm too nervous. Who am I to ask those questions? Well, it is your choice. But if you want to land a high senior level position, you want to learn to play the game of being the facilitator of change, of being the trusted advisor, and whatever fear is showing up, embrace that fear, connect with that story, that the fear is a belief that limits you and it puts you in a box that you no longer want to be in. So be ready to work through your fears, be ready to work through your limiting beliefs, and be ready to release that fear. That is the work that you want to do, because remember, your nervous system is your strategy. What you believe to be true, you suppress on your subconscious. So before you walk out of your door, never walk out feeling empty. Connect and embody that next version of you who are already a trusted advisor. I'm going to have this amazing conversation and I'm going to see if I can help them out, right? You never want to come from lack. Never want to come with, I need that job, because you're never going to have it. So anchor in your body. The room shifts with you. It cannot but shift with you. The salary, the offer, the respect, those are just echoes of your identity. But here's the catch. You cannot decide to have this identity as a trusted advisor 5 minutes before the interview. So prepare differently, not by memorizing the answers, but by focusing internally before you ever leave the house. And I'll break down exactly what to do right here.